put my pencil marks where I think they're going to create suitable pattern pieces. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut along each of these lines, and this will be where I'll be finding out whether or not I've got the right idea. So I'm just going to follow around here. Remember with our cardboard patterns back in the day, we folded them in half and we got the symmetrical effect. Same thing's going to apply here unless you've got that sloping block that's next to Kath. That's obviously not going to be that way, but everything else you can do one side well. You can put your little smiley face on the good side, and you can put your little sad face on the naughty side, and then you can work in that way. Now, this is where we'll find out how we're going. We can't make that bulge flat unless we cut a line all the way through, and that might be one of your design options if you're using this block. But the other thing is, as long as it's flat around the edges, then clearly the flat pattern hat that you create from this is going to have a flatter top than the actual block that we looked at before. And the rest of it, remember I was describing this as the hand of Buddha. This is how the pieces come out at the back. This one, the big smiley piece that I was describing, that's going to be this minus the fold where we do the blocking, whether we did block that peak in. So we're going to trace that out, and then we're going to cut this out and we're going to trace that out and make that the peak piece. So as for pattern pieces, we're going to have either one or two of these. If I want to, I can do a line down the middle if I felt like it. We're going to have this one, and then we're going to have two of those. And then we're going to, what are we going to do once we've traced those out and we've folded them for symmetry?
Going to label them?
We're definitely going to work out the seam allowance, but before that, we're going to measure that, plus that, plus that, plus that, plus that. And we're going to verify that we've got the right seam allowance plus ease. So don't forget what you learnt last year. If your head measurement is 58 centimetres, what am I going to do with the ease? How am I going to incorporate that? How much should I add in roughly?
1.5.
About 1.5 centimetres would be a good place to start. And if your fabric's very thick, it might not be quite enough and you might add a bit. And if your fabric's very thin, it might be a little bit loose and you might make it a fraction less. But when you're coming in there, you do have a bit of leeway with your thing. With your lining, you can actually make the lining with the same pattern, with lighter fabric, or you can create a simpler lining by creating an oval, and you can sticky tape these little babies together and make like effectively a tip and side band using these two pattern pieces, using that plus the combination of that. So one of the things that Bronwyn said when she was talking to me about this was, if it doesn't work, get them to just put it back on the block, put some more masking tape over the seam lines, and then have another go. And so that's what might be necessary if you are having trouble there. Most of you will have a fairly obvious answer. May I please have a look at this? This one belongs to beautiful Sarah, and you can see here she's got a tip in there, which she's looking at, and then she's got a fairly complex shape. Now she's got seams going down the side. That could be quite useful. But the other thing is, if she uses a really open weave fabric on the bias, she might be able to build that in using particular interlinings. And there's one that I'm thinking of which is called Lino, which I believe Lindsay has, and if he doesn't, I've certainly got some that has been sitting in my garage/studio for some time, and I'm probably never going to use it all, so I could share some with those who need it. But something like this, then it sort of goes into a more, it's not a super casual one, but it's going to be a fun one to work with, and it will be a stretch of your skills. I wouldn't bother trying to do a second row in there. That will make you go mental, and we don't want that mental
I'm
health.
trying to decide where, if I wanted the same line so low or if I wanted to lift it.
Okay, yeah, that's good, because we really want to keep these, use the Occam's razor theory, where if you've got a simple pattern and a complex pattern, go for the simple one as much as you can, because that's going to, I have had people who've done patterns with 5,000 seams. I'm not up to it. I'm too old. So keep it simple. Remember, the type of people who will want to wear a fabric hat are probably homies, who'll probably wear your hat backwards in any case, or
I wear a fabric hat like every day.
thank you. Oh, beautiful Sunday. Yeah, you do. Yeah. No,
I am cat, but I make it look good.
you do.
Stylish.
And the other thing is, you know, in winter, on a day like the weekend, going for a walk, something like this on your head makes the difference between you feeling like you need another overcoat and just get on with life. And everyone wants to talk to you when you're wearing a hat. It's true, isn't it, Sunday?
It is so true.
If you're feeling lonely, put on a hat when you go for a walk. People will talk to you, especially if you've got a dog as well. Dog and hat, can't lose. Thank you.